What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the We Don't Make the Rules CFB show. Today, it's Christmas break. I'm home. Luke is not, but Luke will be home soon. Luke, thoughts?
Tomorrow, I make the journey back. I couldn't be happier. I really couldn't be happier. It is too cold up here, and ready to be back.
Last week on our special guest episode, we got a lot of good comments on it.
Oh,
Not
really?
particularly in the comment section, but just from
Oh,
some people they really liked. There and there was a nice comment in there. What
oh,
were your thoughts on
nice.
Richie? I thought he was excellent.
I thought that was the best analyst I've been on the show with.
Richie, not able. It was just a special guest, just a one-time thing. Maybe he might come on again. Maybe next year, Richie.
Love to have
But
him
for
on
now,
again.
yeah, he was great. He was great. Shout out Richie, but no Richie
Shout out.
today. However, big weekend this weekend, especially a big weekend for you as
Yeah,
Alabama goes to Oklahoma.
yeah. I will not be in attendance for this game. Uh, Thankfully, I heard it's gonna be pretty cold there as well. So I'm staying out of the cold for a while. Um, I mean, I personally have gone back and forth on this game. I really don't know. I don't have a really good feeling about it. But before we came on here, Nolan and I were talking about something about how everyone seems to be picking Oklahoma here. So that makes me feel a little bit better. But I don't know. We'll get into it in a second. I'll give my thoughts, but I still haven't made a decision, so I'm making a decision on the fly.
I haven't made it. Whatever you say, I'm going to say the opposite. So that's what we're going to go with because
Okay.
I was. We'll get into it later. Let's go to yeah, let's just get into the game. Alabama, Oklahoma, the line. The line here,
It
you have it.
flipped. Yeah, so it
Yeah,
flipped over. So I made this yesterday, and it was Alabama minus 1.5. Overnight, it flipped to Oklahoma plus one. I mean, it really is just a pick 'em at this point. It doesn't really
yeah.
matter. But Oklahoma is a slight favorite now. I'm pretty
So
sure people have been claiming there's smart money on Oklahoma. I don't know how much that's true, but whatever. The line did flip, so it is Oklahoma minus 1.5 now. The over under set at 40.5. This game is Friday night, tomorrow night. So this episode, I'm gonna grind, edit, and post this by hopefully tonight. So we'll see. But yeah, there's a few things that stand out to me in this game. It's how healthy are we actually? I know we don't have LT Overton back in this game. There's been rumors that he's got blood clots, and if that's the case, he shouldn't play for the rest of the year. He needs to just get better. Um, there's also these rumors that Ty Simpson has a back injury and all this other junk. How healthy are we? I know Cuevas is back for this game. That was huge. Jam Miller's back for this game. That's huge. Um, Defensively, hopefully some guys are a little bit healthier. Justin Jefferson got hurt late in the Georgia game, but I believe he is back. So it really is a health thing. I think that if this game goes any way like it did last time we played them, a few weeks ago, I think we win the game because we shouldn't turn the ball over three times like that, and we hopefully should get that cleaned up. But yeah, health is the biggest takeaway for me right now. So
yeah. By the way, I came down with a cold, so if there's a little puffiness in the eyes, you guys know why. I was not crying. Um, Keys to the game, it was I wrote down a very similar thing with health, but I highlighted one player in particular, and that was Cuevas. Um, when I wrote this, I think it was questionable. You confirmed he is playing?
he is playing. Yes, that
Okay,
came out I
that
think later yesterday.
that's huge for Alabama. That's what I wrote was the biggest get. I think between him and the tight end too, that's the biggest gap. I think he is substantially better than the next option. Then
Yeah,
I also wrote down, don't give OU short field, right? I know you had the pick six last time, but OU's offense stinks.
yeah,
So even if you can punt, just not if you can punt, but I'm just saying like, just don't turn the ball over on your side of the field and just play a smart game and make OU's offense go down there and beat you, right? That's something that I mean, last game Alabama or last time they met, Alabama out yarded Oklahoma by a good margin. So I think that's something to think about. And also, I wrote down Ty Simpson's health. I've heard about the back injury. Um, some people say it's kind of It's kind of bad. Some people say that it's just, I mean, not a huge concern. So I think that is something to look at. But if he's healthy, that's good. And then for Oklahoma, I wrote down, can you avoid terrible plays, offensive plays, right? Just you don't have to be fancy. You don't have to be cute. Runs for 3 yards, material read option, that stuff's good, right? Don't get cute. Avoid the negative yards. Um, and I also wrote down if every single drive ends at a punt, it might be a 7-3 game because of your defense, right? A punt is not the worst thing in this game. Just letting if you're Oklahoma, let your defense go out there and play as I think probably the best defense in college, you'd say, or no?
Oklahoma, nah,
Yeah.
no,
They're
I
up
wouldn't say
there.
so. They're good.
Top five.
I would say
I
so.
top five, I'd say.
Okay, I mean that's fair. I don't. I think
But
they are very good up front. Yeah.
either way, even though Alabama moved the ball well against you, um, last game you still created points and you created momentum on defense. So just go out there on offense and don't, like I said, just don't get cute, man. Um, just if you have to punt, punt, right? It's not the worst thing in the world. Let your defense go out there and make a good impact on the game.
Yeah, I'll give like my action. I'll give like the actual keys. You hit one of them spot on that I was going to talk about was field positioning and just like the last time the two games that we've lost this year besides FSU. Knowing I don't care about FSU, but Georgia and Oklahoma, the field position was disgusting in terms of how much we were at a disadvantage. And part of that is special teams. Part of that is offense. It's everything, and it puts our defense in a bad spot. Our defense has been great. I thought they even played pretty dang good or I thought they played pretty good in the Georgia game. I don't think they played amazing, but they played pretty good in the Georgia game, given what they were dealt. I mean, Georgia had the ball at like the 50 every single drive, and it was like this the same thing in the Oklahoma game. So again, if the offense can sustain any sort of success in moving the ball, and the special teams doesn't have these miscues, like for example the Georgia game, where you have a blocked punt or our kicker shanks a punt every once in a while. So if we can eliminate that crap, this game, in my opinion, I don't think it should be that close. I haven't been high on Oklahoma all year. Whatever, dude. But I'm just saying I don't think that this game needs to be as difficult as we're going to make it for ourselves, or I think we probably are going to make it for ourselves. But field position is the biggest thing, and then obviously health. For Oklahoma, I think you hit it on the head. Like offensively, you're probably not going to get much. So just be safe and smart with the ball. The way that you can turn this on its head and Alabama's just up by 20 at one point is if you're turning the ball over. If you're playing smart and you're winning the turnover margin, you can create a type of game like last time where you snuck out a win. You don't necessarily have to sneak out a win here, but I'm saying if the offense can just be smart and maybe put together one, maybe two drives, that might be all you need to win this game. If you can do that, you can win this game, especially when you're at home. You'll have I'm sure a huge home field advantage given this Friday night's college football playoff game. I heard they're canceling classes or whatever. I don't know that they're still having classes in Norman. I don't know what's going on over there, but that was a report a few weeks ago when they announced this game. Um, so yeah, I don't know. We can get into the prediction. I don't know if you want me to go first.
Yeah, one last thing I'm gonna add before I get into the prediction. I'm
Okay.
interested to see just because obviously Grubb and DeBoer are offensive guys. I'm interested to see, and Venables is defensive guy. I'm interested to see who ends up like drawing up a better scheme and game plan. It's a second crack at a team, and I'm interested to see who like will. I mean, they've had Alabama's had 2 weeks, Oklahoma's had three, so they've had a few
Okay.
weeks to prepare for this. So we'll see. I'm interested to see what coach comes out with a better game plan.
Well, yeah, yeah. Oklahoma's had two as well because it's like they didn't know who they were playing, but yeah,
Fair enough, but they've had 3 weeks.
They've had three
Yeah,
weeks
yeah,
off.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, right.
Well, I don't know if you saw. Someone asked Grubb this week. I don't know if you saw this. Someone asked him and said, how can you strategize to get the run game going? And he said he's out of ideas. So that's
Oh,
where we're at in terms of running the ball. Whatever.
Well, I mean,
That's
if it got
expected.
you this far, but if you got you this far, you'll be all right. Especially with Jam back. I know this isn't running the ball, but he'll be way better in pass protection for you. So
Yeah. Well, yeah. I just it's so hard for me to make this pick because we shouldn't be favored in the game. Like we should have. We've been playing so bad lately that it makes me want to just pick us. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm picking Alabama to win this game. I think they're gonna win. I think they maybe it's a hot take. I think they win convincingly. I think it's another game like it was back in Tuscaloosa, but the turnovers are not a problem, and you really see this outgained of offense, and the final score is like something like 24-14 or something like that. Um, that's my prediction. We'll see if I'm right. I don't know that I will be, but it's more of like a mind game for my prediction here. I don't really have a great feel about it though.
I like that you picked your team. I told Luke before, whatever he picks, I'm going to go the opposite. I did write down Oklahoma here, but I was going to pick Alabama because of how many people were picking Oklahoma that I
Yeah,
saw on ESPN today. But I'm going to stick with Oklahoma. I got Oklahoma 17-13.
yeah. The over unders at 40 and a half, so that's definitely a two scores that check out there.
Yeah,
But
I
it
like
should
it.
be an interesting game. This is the first. Fun fact: this is the first college football playoff game that Alabama's played it that I haven't been in attendance for. So we'll see how that goes.
Wow,
Yeah,
good stat, kid.
great stat.
That is the but anybody wondering, that is the game I'm most excited for, by the way. Alabama and Oklahoma. I mean,
Yeah,
two are going to be snooze fest, but the
I'm
other
I'm
one that's a
excited about
good
this
one.
next game.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I was just going to say that the next one we're going to get into will be a good one.
Let's
Miami
go.
at A&M. We got A&M minus 3.5 over under set at 48.5. What do you got?
Um, I don't know. This is another game. These two games, I don't have a like great feel on them. Who's gonna win?
Don't worry, the next two are pretty easy to pick.
Yeah, I know. So that kind of makes up for it. I think Miami's case, it's you have kind of nothing. And the way it seems to me, it's like Miami kind of doesn't have anything to lose here. Like they got put in, they got thrown in, and now I feel like they're just going to play loose. And I think that's dangerous for A&M. But it's also dangerous for them because if you play too loose and you start getting way out of what you're supposed to be doing on the road, it could get ugly in College Station, especially if Carson Beck does the Carson Beck thing and starts turning the ball over. And Miami's defense is put in a bad position. They're constantly on the field. There is a world where A&M could just blow them out of this game, but I don't think it's going to happen. Um, for A&M, it's kind of the same thing though. I think Marcel Reed as well has been a little iffy at times, especially under pressure. And I think Ruben
Definitely.
Bain and that front seven is going to get after him. Um, I
Did you
don't
see what
necessarily.
A&M's the kid on the A&M's O line said about Ruben Bain?
I did see that a couple weeks ago. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's probably not smart, but we'll see. Uh, but I mean, Miami's actually been pretty good at defending or preventing the run with quarterbacks this year. So maybe maybe that'll help them and going to their advantage. But um, yeah, that's just a general thought for right now.
okay. I want to give a shout out to the Hurricanes. After they lost to SMU, I never thought this team would get in the playoffs. So shout out to them. They found a
Yeah,
way. Overall thoughts for this game, I wrote down, can you keep quarterbacks from both teams from multiple turnover games? Like you said, Marcel Reed has had a few hiccups late in the season, and then when you look at back, to me the turnovers come in bunches, right? It's you look at those two losses, he had 6 interceptions. So the turnovers come in bunches, right? Don't let one turnover lead to the next. A turnovers definitely could happen if you're Miami, right? Carson Beck is very aggressive. He can make sometimes a too aggressive throw. That is the key, I feel like, for Miami is don't do that, right? Stay in your game. You have a line of scrimmage advantage, at least I think, in this game. So go play with that. I told this to you yesterday that 4 teams have ran for more than 200 yards against this A&M defense. One of them being Texas, who did not run the ball well all year. So I give Miami an advantage, a big time advantage up front. I think they will be the fifth team to rush for more than 200 yards against this A&M defense. If not, I think that it'll be close up there. So that's what I got for Miami. And then A&M, I didn't really write a whole lot about A&M, but I wrote, because I kind of talked about Marcel already, but I wrote down, can you get 85% of Le'Veon Moss? He's way better than the rest of the backs. So for A&M to have, I mean, if he's close to 100%, that definitely favors A&M, but they need him to be a version of himself.
Yeah, I think the problem here, and probably the biggest thing is why I'm a little hesitant to pick Miami, is the receiving core for A&M. Um,
Yeah, they're getting healthy.
that and it's just Miami has not been great at stopping, especially in the SMU game. We saw it. I talked about it earlier, like the wide receiver ones, like and how they do great against Miami secondary. I actually don't even know who would be considered the wide receiver one on A&M. I don't know if it's Concepcion
Concepcion, right?
or Craver. Either one, they're
Yeah.
both very good. So that could be problematic for Miami. But so that would be the biggest thing for Miami is like just containing. No, don't let huge plays happen like that because that A&M's had to probably. I don't know what they're ranked. I don't know what the actual ranking is for like 40 plus yard plays, but if I would bet that they're up there. So limit that. A&M again. I think literally just turnovers is going to be the biggest thing. Win the turnover margin. If you win the turnover margin, you win the game. Maybe I'll say this: whoever wins the turnover margin wins the game. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's a take right there.
Okay. I like it. I like it.
Um, I'll let you go first with the prediction. I'm gonna go on the fly.
All right. I'm rocking with you, baby. Miami, 28 to 26, going to Kyle Field and get a playoff win.
I
Do it
don't.
with me. Throw up the U.
I'm never gonna throw that up, but I uh I'll join you. I'll join you.
Yes.
I think they're gonna go in there and I think they're gonna get it done. I think that it's just more of just an idea of like they have nothing to lose. It feels. I feel like they're just gonna play loose. They're gonna play their ass off, and I think they're gonna beat A&M. I also haven't. I think A&M is a little tad bit over. They were tad bit overrated this year. Like they played a very easy SEC schedule.
I
I don't
agree.
know how they got away with that, but um, you know what? I'll go with Miami. I'll choose it.
I like
I
it.
don't have a score prediction, but
It's all about the U. The
dude,
U.
you gotta
All right.
stop doing that.
All right. Sorry. Sorry. I'd love to see Carson back get this win. Shout out to him. All right. Next, well, I guess this is the better of the two remaining. Tulane at Ole
Definitely.
Miss got the spread at 17 and a half, over under at 56 and a half. I'll just dive into this right now. I'll just get into
Yeah, go ahead.
Tulane. I'll talk about Tulane, then I'll jump to you. Um, Keys to the game for Tulane: have a defensive pulse. Give your offense a chance to go win the game. If you're going to let Ole Miss on the first three drives go right down the field, and before you blink, you're down 21 nothing. You don't have a prayer,
Yeah.
right? You need to have your defense just create something, not create something, just prevent disaster, I guess is the way to put it. Because this Ole Miss offense, which I'll get into, may look a little different. But this Tulane defense, like they did last time against Ole Miss, they let the Ole Miss offense kind of get to them early. Um, and then I wrote down, can these Tulane wide receivers get comfortable to put the Ole Miss defense on their heels? The offense is going to have to go establish identity for Tulane, especially early in this one, to kind of put, there's no Lane Kiffin. So maybe put Pete Golding in a little bit of a tough scenario right away. Bring him some adversity early on.
Yeah, I think there's a world where Tulane is right in this game. I think that I think there's a world where Ole Miss comes out kind of without Kiffin and they come out a little slow and offense looks rough and Tulane's offense can go. So I'll be curious to see. My prediction is that I'll just go ahead and say I think Tulane covers 17 and a half here. But I'll say this. I think
I agree.
you made a great point there about the defense. The defense can't get just run over in this game. Like that, it just can't happen. Uh, because yes, the offense is good, but if you're allowing them to just push you around and run the ball with ease and not really, you don't put any type of pressure on Chambliss. You don't make him have to make plays. And you just let Lacey just run all. It's gonna be it'll be over.
Yeah,
But
it'll
I
be a
think if you show
disaster.
some life early, you got a chance to stay in this game. I think that's what happens. I think Tulane will actually come out and kind of shock some people, but that doesn't take away from the fact that this is uh, this is a problem in college football that we're having a playoff game that's a 17 and a half point differential in terms of Vegas's spread. But
Don't worry, there's
um,
another one that's 20.
oh yeah. Oh, that one will probably be 20 though. I think this one will. I think Tulane covers this game, but um, Ole Miss, I think just don't come out timid or scared of how to play without Kiffin. Like just play your ball. This team is obviously inferior to you. You're an SEC team. You've played SEC teams all year. You're bigger, physical, more physical, faster. Just play how you've been playing all year. I
I
don't
like
have a
that.
I don't have a score prediction, but I did say 200 cover 17. Yeah, so
Okay. Um, I'll just get into the really quick keys to the game for Ole Miss. What will Trinidad Chambliss look like without the answers? Since the player, whatever, communication can go straight to the helmet, no player or no coach has done that more than Lane Kiffin. He's literally given his quarterbacks the answer, right? What will Trinidad look like without the answers to this game? I think that's an interesting thing to see. And yeah, I guess that's all I got. Lane Kiffin has literally done this more than any other coach. So, and he's a mastermind on offense. He can see things that some people don't see. So I'm interested to see what Trinidad will look like without him. And then for the prediction, I put Ole Miss 31-17.
like it,
I like it too.
and it hits the cover. So there we go. I think it
Yeah.
actually like I think that's a pretty accurate score, but I feel like it would be like 24-17 in the fourth quarter, and it's a lot closer than it looks.
Yeah,
I really do. I do have some faith in Tulane here. This
I
next
hope
game,
they
however,
win.
I don't. So
Yeah, I don't really have a ton, but start us off.
uh, I don't even want to. So they're playing this game underwater. Actually, I told you this last night. Uh, so this is actually going to be like a swimming match. James Madison at Oregon. I don't who Oregon's minus 20 and a half. I can't believe I'm reading that for a playoff game, but whatever. Over unders at 47 and a half. Probably should be lower, honestly. I could seriously see this final score being like 28 to nothing, 28-7, because I don't really expect a lot of scoring. I think the rain actually ironically favors Oregon too, just because they're so great running the ball and getting explosive run plays and whatever. I can't say. I don't know if this will come across my screen on Saturday night.
Yeah, yeah. I
No,
don't think it'll
it
come on mine.
definitely will. I think I get TNT, so we'll see.
Yeah, I'll just run through this whole thing quick here. Keys to the game for JMU. I think their defense is the biggest key because I know their offense is going to struggle. They average
Yeah,
291 yards of total offense versus Power Four programs. Then against non-Power Four programs, they average at least 400 yards. So obvious, a big difference between some Power Four programs, and Oregon is one of the top Power Four programs. So obviously their offense is not going to do well. That's just the bottom line. So their defense is going to have to keep them in this game. And then for Oregon, key, I think, can you flex your muscle and get some starters out? How dominant are you? Yeah, show it off. How dominant are you going to be in this game? I think this Oregon team, I was a hater early on in the season, and they are healthy. After I think that not now. I saw some wide receivers or players that are out, or not out, questionable, but they're getting there. Evan Stewart,
I think Evan
what's the
Stewart was practicing this week in pads.
Yes, exactly. DeCorian Moore, he's questionable for this one, but you go by this one, you get some starters out, you're going to be good going forward. I think this team is peaking in the right direction in terms of health. So yeah, I think obviously last key, crowd noise. I think crowd noise is going to be huge in this game, especially because JMU probably hasn't experienced a ton of large crowd noise this year. So for that reasoning, I picked Oregon 34 to 10.
Um, I mean, yeah, I kind of already talked about. I mean, JMU, I guess the way you win this game is just create chaos. It is like it is a rainy game, so like it does, I guess,
It's a good start.
add some variance to the outcomes of the game. You're gonna have to stop the run, though. I don't necessarily know if you're gonna be able to do that, but if you stop the run, you give yourself a fighting chance. You know, I don't really, I just don't really see a way that it's gonna be possible. I would love to see it happen, but I don't know if there is a main key for you to win this game other than just absolute utter chaos. So,
I agree.
and then Oregon, uh, I don't have anything for you. Dan Lanning's gonna be in like a his normal attire, cotton sweatshirt in pouring down rain. So whatever. You give a score prediction. I'm not gonna give a score prediction. I'm just gonna say Oregon's gonna cover 20 and a half.
Yeah, I had them covering too. Good stuff.
Oh, did you get the prediction in or no?
34 to 10 Oregon.
Yeah. Okay. Um, okay. This next one, I'm not actually gonna talk about Sharon Moore at all, really, but I wanted to because that whole situation is a little. Uh, I don't even know the word for it. I don't. It's not even like a joking manner either. It's just like a just a bad situation all around. But I put this in here because you it was the episode that you weren't on, and I mentioned how Michigan was this great program and that they have a coach right now that wouldn't be in the running for any of these other openings at like big jobs. I was saying like Penn State, LSU, Florida, when those were open, Jerome Moore wouldn't have been a candidate there. And
Right.
Michigan is right up there with those brands, if not better than some of them. So I was mentioned like how do you navigate that? Because he hasn't really done anything wrong. This was right after the Ohio State game. His like entire I don't even his entire brand as a coach was like, oh well, he just keeps beating Ohio State, so we can't fire him because that's all that matters up here, apparently. Um, so he lost that game, and I posed the question like, should they move on from it? Like, what has he done up there? I didn't say that they should have moved on from it, but it was an interesting point. And then this all comes out, and they there's speculation that Michigan had known about it before the Ohio State game, whatever. I don't know. Obviously, I don't think anyone really does know, but it is a bad situation. It is a bad look too. Having scandals like these, not even like 2 or 3 years apart from each other, so not a good look. But I there's been a lot of talk about Kalen DeBoer going up there. I mean, I've had a bunch of guys. Everyone on Twitter seems to know exactly what's going on, and especially the guys on the message boards. I don't know if those guys are geniuses, man. I don't
Yeah,
know if you've seen some of them. They know
gotta
exactly
love.
what's going on. I've seen people 100% confirming, putting it on their children's life. Kalen DeBoer's going to Michigan, and then he puts out a statement the next day that he's staying in Alabama. So I don't know who it's going to be. If I had to guess, it would probably be Jed Fish at Washington. Um, People also thought it was going to be Dillingham. And then he signed an extension. So, and then there's a lot of speculation that if Alabama loses this game to Oklahoma, DeBoer's going to go to Michigan or they're going to kick him out of town. That is just, it's so far from the truth. And it's people, it's like beat writers in Tuscaloosa too that are saying that. That's what really has been pissing me off this week. Um, Whatever, dude. Uh, but my prediction would be Jed Fish at Michigan. I don't know what you think if you have any thoughts, but
I got something to say about this. I was watching First Take on the plane today, and Stephen A. Smith was pretty passionate that if Alabama loses tomorrow, he thinks DeBoer should go to Michigan.
Well,
Um,
Stephen A. Smith,
do
I'll just interrupt real quick. Stephen A. Smith, I can't say that he knows anything about college football.
well, that's why they brought on Paul Feinbaum, who
Oh,
agreed with
oh,
him.
boy. Well, that's interesting that you talk about Paul Feinbaum because I'm not sure he knows anything about college football either, and he's been covering the sport for 20 years. So, yeah, whatever. Keep going.
Anyway, Stephen A. made the argument that this would be his eighth loss if he lost tomorrow in the past two seasons. And apparently Nick Saban only lost 6 games in the final 4 years. So that was kind of his reasoning behind that one. Do I agree with it? No. Stephen A. seems to think that thinks that DeBoer is very happy in Tuscaloosa, but the fans are not happy with DeBoer. So will DeBoer leave? I don't think so. Why would you leave? Probably I was gonna say the top job, but it's at least the top three job. I don't understand why you would leave that to go to Michigan. So I don't think it's gonna be DeBoer. I was gonna say Kenny Dillingham until he signed the extension. I didn't even know he signed the extension. So shout out to you. So in that case, I'll say Jedd Fisch. I'll agree.
Yeah, I'll say this. I think that there's this notion. Here's what it is, and this is what it's like on Alabama Twitter and stuff like that. It's like the loudest, most obnoxious fans are the most radical, like disgusting, no idea what they're talking about people, and that's what like gets the main rep is that people are unhappy with it. I think I could speak for like 98% of the fan base. Everyone would love to keep DeBoer. Like no one that wants him out of town. I don't like. I think like the I don't. I obviously didn't watch Stephen A. Smith talk about college football today because I wanted my brain to grow before my exams. So, but the entire notion about like 8 losses compared to 6, like I don't. This is more for like the common fan that doesn't really understand. Like this is a completely different era of college football that we're playing right now. There is so much parity with transfer portal and NIL and stuff like that. Like it's not like years ago where there's 4 dominant teams that are going like 12-0 or 11-1. Like
Good
that's
point.
that's that's rare. It's not going to happen. Like you're playing, especially in the SEC, you're playing a team with NFL talent every single week, and then you're getting guys that are banged up, and then you don't have as much depth on these rosters. Like Saban had depth on his roster. We had guys on like the third string that would go on and play and be like all pros in the NFL. So it's not like that anymore. Like talent like that has dispersed around to different programs across the country. So it's not it is incomparable to and Saban wasn't. I can't believe people have this short memory of the last 2 years Saban was head coach. We didn't make the playoffs the second to last year with Bryce Young and Jahmyr Gibbs, right? With a great offense, didn't make the playoffs. Then the second year, we lose we lose to Michigan in the semifinals. Should have won that game, but like people don't understand like that. You could have put a decent amount of blame for that loss on Saban. So people kind of have short memory when it comes to that. I it's just bad faith arguments from a lot of it comes from Alabama fans, but it's point being it is not it doesn't make sense to compare the two eras. It makes zero sense whatsoever. So I think Kellen Moore's done a good job with what he was given so far.
Fair enough. 3 minutes left. You want to end it?
Oh yeah, then we'll go to bowl picks. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna get into bowl games.
I'm not
Uh,
giving a single analysis on any of these because I don't
no,
know any.
and you don't have to. We do basically the reason we're doing this is because my family does this every year, and we give out a trophy. We have like a huge trophy in the house. It almost looks like the Heisman Trophy. And whoever wins, the bowl picks gets the trophy for the year. So we're just bringing it on here. But yeah, we have every single one except for the Xbox Bowl. I don't know why you're throwing up to you.
Sorry.
So we could start with the Xbox Bowl because it's in 2 hours. It's Missouri State versus Arkansas State. So go ahead and flip a coin.
Uh, Arkansas State.
Okay. Well, I picked Missouri State. So
Okay.
all right. We'll go first one. Myrtle Beach Bowl, Kennesaw State versus Western Michigan.
Kennesaw State.
I picked Kennesaw State as well. Get the Gasparilla Bowl, Memphis versus NC State.
NC State.
I picked Memphis. So there we go. And then we went through the first round games. So yeah, no, we don't have to go through this. The Idaho Potato Bowl, Washington State and Utah State.
Washington State.
Yeah, I picked Wazoo as well. Boca Raton Bowl. This is the most mismatched game I've seen. Toledo versus Louisville.
Louisville.
Yep, picked Louisville as well. The New Orleans Bowl. Oh, that'll be fun. Western Kentucky versus Southern Miss.
Southern Miss. Shout out Joey Orban.
I picked Western Kentucky. The Frisco Bowl, UNLV versus Ohio.
Who'd you pick for this one?
I picked UNLV.
OH. I'm taking Ohio.
All right. The Hawaii Bowl. Look at this. Look at this home field position. Home field advantage Hawaii's got. Cal versus
Yeah.
Hawaii.
Cal.
Yeah, I'm going Cal as well. Their quarterback's Hawaiian too, so he's coming back home. He's got a homecoming. He's going to make a statement. Game above Sports Bowl. Central Michigan versus Northwestern.
Northwestern.
I picked Northwestern as well. The Rate Bowl. New Mexico versus Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Pick Minnesota as well. The First Responder Bowl. FIU versus UTSA.
Go Panthers. FIU.
I actually know someone on the FIU football team. Receiver. Shout out Kyle McNeil. I picked UTSA though, so sorry. Okay. Military Bowl. Pitt versus ECU. I know who you're picking.
Yeah, I don't even think you need to ask me who I'm picking. Every time Mason Heichel's playing a game, I'll always pick him. Give me Pitt.
What if Pitt played Georgia?
I'm obviously picking Georgia, but
Uh,
uh, I like Pitt. Pitt's gonna win. Pitt's gonna win by 20 tomorrow. Yeah, at least.
is
Or
that
whenever
Pitt?
this military bowl is.
The Military Bowl is 2 days
It's
after
definitely not
Christmas.
tomorrow.
Saturday,
Yeah. Sorry.
12/27. I'll pick Pitt as well. Pitt by 100. Okay. Pinstripe Bowl. Penn State versus Clemson.
Clemson.
I pick Penn State. Fenway Bowl. UConn versus Army.
UConn.
Big UConn as well. The Pop Tarts Bowl. Georgia Tech versus
BYU.
BYU. Yep, I picked BYU too. Arizona Bowl. Miami, Ohio versus Fresno State.
Who'd you pick?
Fresno.
I'll go with Fresno, and I have no idea.
All right. Where are we?
New
Why did I
Mexico
the
Bowl.
New Mexico Bowl. North Texas versus San Diego State.
Uh, let's go North Texas.
Took them as well. Gator Bowl. Virginia versus Mizzou.
Bo Prabula entered the portal.
Yeah,
Virginia looked bad.
he
I'll
did.
I'll go with Mizzou.
Yeah, I picked Mizzou as well. Texas Bowl. LSU versus Houston.
It's bad to pick LSU, but I'm gonna pick LSU.
Yeah, I picked them as well. Houston is actually, I don't know if they are favored in this game, but I picked LSU. The Birmingham Bowl, Georgia Southern versus Appalachian State. Appalachian State, by the way, is 5-7. So
Yeah, I was Georgia Southern.
yeah. Independence Bowl, Coastal Carolina versus La Tech.
La Tech.
I picked La Tech as well. And then the Music City Bowl, another home field advantage. Tennessee versus Illinois.
Tennessee.
Yep, picked them as well. The Alamo Bowl, USC versus TCU.
Go Trojans.
Yeah. ReliaQuest Bowl is the best ReliaQuest Bowl ever. Iowa versus Vandy.
Are you just saying that because Alabama played the Rely Quest last year?
Yeah, it sucked. Yeah,
Vandy.
I picked Vandy as well. Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl, Arizona State versus Duke.
Uh, Shout out Carter Ritchie, Arizona State.
Yep, I picked them as well. Oh, shout out Carter Ritchie. The Cheez It Citrus Bowl. Not sure why they combined them, but Michigan versus Texas.
I'll go Texas.
Yeah, definitely Texas. The Las Vegas Bowl, Nebraska versus Utah.
I'll go with Utah.
I picked Utah as well. Armed Forces Bowl, Rice versus Texas State. Rice is also 5-7.
I'll go Texas State then.
Yeah, I picked them as well. We don't have many different picks here, so
Yeah,
this is not good for
not
business.
yeah, not good. Yeah.
Liberty Bowl, Navy versus Cincy. Cincinnati is.
I'll go Navy.
I picked Cincinnati here. I'm not sure why I did, but I did. So go Bearcats.
Yep.
Duke's Mayo Bowl, Wake Forest versus Mississippi State. Mississippi State is 5-7. Wake Forest is 8-4. But Mississippi State is favored in the game, so SEC all day. Huh?
I will be picking Mississippi State to win this game.
I picked them as well. And the final game, the Holiday Bowl, Arizona versus SMU.
Uh, I'll. Oh, which one did you? Who'd you do?
I picked Arizona.
I'll go SMU.
All right. And finally,
The
what
best
better
part.
way? But what better way? We are giving our national champion prediction tonight. We're predicting the entire bracket. We've been waiting all year for this. Obviously we weren't doing the show earlier in the year. Otherwise, we would have done a preseason one, and we could see how great and bad they were. I can't wait to do that next year. But yeah, it's been a long 15 weeks or however long it's been. But we made it to the point where we have a bracket and we are picking a bracket and filling it out. So we already did the first round matchups. We can just go through them again. You can start if you want.
Okay. Here, I'm trying to do this on my phone because it's way easier, but I know I did Oklahoma beating Alabama, Miami beating A&M, Ole Miss, and Oregon.
Yep. And then the only thing I have Alabama beating Oklahoma, Miami beating A&M, Ole Miss beating Tulane, and Oregon beating James Madison. So that would set up um, for me. It would be Alabama versus Indiana, Miami versus Ohio State, Ole Miss versus Georgia, and Oregon versus Texas Tech. So
Okay. I'll start from the top on this bracket.
okay,
Um, Oregon versus Texas Tech. I picked Oregon.
okay,
Oklahoma versus Indiana. I picked Indiana. Ole
okay,
Miss versus Georgia. I picked Georgia. And Miami versus Ohio State. I picked Ohio State.
okay. Oregon versus Texas Tech. I am taking Oregon as well. I think Oregon is just the more talented team there. I think they're going to be sneaky. Yeah, I'll wait. Okay. Next is Ole Miss versus Georgia. I picked Georgia. I don't really have much of an explanation of that game. It's just Georgia's the better team right now, and yeah. But who knows? Maybe Ole Miss comes out and they're just like they're on a mission because they're mad about Kiffin leaving and whatever. But no, I'm picking Georgia. And then Miami versus Ohio State. I'm picking Ohio State. And Alabama versus Indiana. If this game happens, I will be in attendance for that game. And last time I went to the Rose Bowl, Alabama lost. We just talked
Disaster.
about that actually.
Yeah.
I'm predicting redemption. I'm gonna pick Alabama here. I think that if we can get a groove going and we win convincingly in Oklahoma, like I'm predicting, I think the offense gets going. I think the injury for Indiana on defense is going to be a slight problem for them. I think our defense is able to keep up with Indiana. I think we'll be able to get stops like Ohio State did. I think maybe our offense can put some drives together if we get some momentum. So I'm going to pick Alabama in that game, and I will be in attendance if it happens.
Nice. I like it. All right, semifinals. These two were very difficult for me. I went back and forth a lot. Not really sure how I ended on the conclusion that I did, but for Oregon and Indiana, I chose Indiana. I can totally see Oregon getting another life and uh, getting a second Dan Lanning getting a second chance at beating Cincinnati, but I ended up going with Indiana and then Georgia at Ohio State. I think Ohio State is the better team. I think Georgia is better coached. Therefore, obviously, I'm rocking with the dogs.
Okay, so mine sets up to be Alabama versus Oregon, and then Ohio State versus Georgia. Um, which one should I do first? I'll do okay. Ohio State, Georgia. This is probably the toughest for me to pick. I think strictly momentum based. Obviously, like it leans Georgia. Um, but you got to think like these games are, going to be after games have been played, obviously. So I'm gonna pick Ohio State here just because I think they're the better team. I think the loss is gonna do a lot of good for them, kind of like it did last year. Um, and but I could see this going either way. I could definitely see Georgia winning this game. But I'm gonna pick Ohio State. I think they're the better team. Um, but Nolan is right. Georgia is a better coach. So wouldn't surprise me, Georgia will. But I'm gonna pick Ohio State. And then Alabama, Oregon. I will probably be at that game as well if it happens. I, as much as I, this is tough for me. I think that this is where it ends for us. Not that I think that Oregon is better than Indiana, really. I mean, if Oregon and Indiana played, I probably would pick Oregon. But I'm going to pick Oregon over Alabama here just simply because of the fact that Oregon has a great defense, or excuse me, they are great on both sides of the ball, and I think offensively we just we fall off. That's where it ends. I
Good
think
run.
that game would be played in I want to say Atlanta,
That game would
and
be the Peach Bowl.
yeah, that game would be in Atlanta, so we would have some home field advantage there. So I don't know, but I'm going to pick Oregon. So that sets up my national championship of Oregon versus Ohio State.
Okay. My national championship in Miami would be Indiana and Georgia. And is there ever a doubt in Kirby Smart's best coaching year this year, the dogs get it done. A statue is built of Gunnar Stockton, and the dogs win three in the 2020s era.
I could definitely see it happening. I mean, they Georgia looks like the best team right now. I mean, I know a bunch of people say, "Oh, well, hey, SEC homer, did you not just watch Indiana play?" So relax, relax. But yeah, Georgia looks like the best team right now. So I'll say that. Ohio State and Oregon. Ohio State. I think Ohio State's the best team in the country. Um, oh, did you not watch the Big Ten championship? Indiana just beat. Okay. Ohio State's the best team in the country. They're going to win. They're going to beat Oregon. Ohio State goes back to back. I don't really. This is my prediction. You're just gonna have to deal with it. I don't. I hope this doesn't happen. I don't. I don't know who I'd want to win more, or excuse me, who would I want to win less? Georgia or Ohio State? I don't know who it would be. Uh,
I think you would
Probably be
rather.
Georgia. I would probably rather have Ohio State win than Georgia.
No, I don't think you would. I don't think you would because of the amount of Big Ten people just wouldn't shut up.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of idiots.
Yeah, I think you would rather have.
Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of
I
idiots.
think you'd rather have Georgia win, especially now that you got Twitter back. Sorry, X.
Oh, oh yeah, X. I don't know, dude. There's a lot of Georgia fans on it. There's like I think the Alabama Georgia rivalry has become a lot. It's definitely sparked because of because Georgia has been good again. Since 2018 or whatever. So it has become more of a rivalry, and I think because of that, there's been a lot of Georgia fans, especially after that SEC championship game, like that really needed that. So they got on there and they started talking a lot, and that I don't really like. Obviously it's gonna happen, but I wasn't a huge fan of it, so I don't
Well, you got to
necessarily
think
know.
Georgia rarely beats Alabama, so
Exactly. That's why I was like, oh, whatever. I've expected it, but I don't. I don't want either of them to win. I'd rather have Oregon win than Ohio State or Georgia. Hell, I'd rather have Alabama win. Why not
Yeah.
that?
I filled out another bracket. Uh, Not my official bracket by any means. I did pick Ohio State to win, so I would just not. I would not be surprised at all
No,
if
yeah.
Ohio
I
State
think it's
wins. So
definitely between Ohio State and Georgia. I know that Indiana is a good team, is a great team. I just don't. I think it the Indiana definitely has like the. Why are we throwing up the U?
sorry,
what
dude.
is up with the U
I
tonight?
don't know. I don't know. The U's getting to me. Wow, wow.
Oh, oh. Anyways, I think Indiana has like the easiest side of the bracket, obviously. So they have the easiest path to the national championship. And they kind of got lucky to the point where, well, I mean, it's going to be like that either way. Ohio State and Georgia have to take each other out. But I think Ohio State and Georgia are two of the best teams in the bracket. Uh, but again, I understand Ohio State just lost to Indiana. That doesn't change my mind. So
Good, good, good. Good
whatever.
episode.
Was a great episode. Next episode, we film. I will be back home. Who knows? Maybe we'll be in the same room.
Yeah,
We
wow.
we could
Crazy to
figure that
think
out.
about.
Maybe that is insane.
We'll get something together. Also, drop a comment of what you think the punishment should be for the loser or what you think the reward should be for the winner of
Oh, that's
these
good.
bracket predictions.
That's good. Yeah, I we don't have many that we that we did differently, but someone will lose. Or if we
Well,
tie, we both have to
well,
do the punishment.
no. I'm saying the brat like if let's say Georgia wins, then I would win.
Oh, oh, I thought you were
But
talking about the
if
bowl picks.
no, bracket.
Oh, bracket. Okay. Uh, okay. We could do like a point system for it. You get like one
Yeah, we'll
point for the
figure it
first
out.
round.
We'll figure it
Whatever.
out.
We'll see.
But drop a
Um,
comment and drop a like on the video.
yeah, yeah.
Let's get the
Just
like count up,
yeah.
please.
I'm sick of looking at it. Just it's low. You know what I mean?
Tell your friends about the pod. Sorry, the
Yeah,
CFB show. Tell your friends
yeah,
about it. Just do whatever you can. You go into school, have it on, maybe
yeah.
hook it up to
On the
the big
speaker.
screen.
They get a
Yeah,
boom box and walk around with it.
I agree. Let's just spread the show a little bit. We need
Yeah,
a
guys.
marketing team, but we're gonna get that figured out.
Yeah. We we do need a marketing team. We need a I think we're gonna get Clay. So this is an announcement. Clay will be on the show for the spring when we go over prospects because I think you will probably be pretty busy with baseball season and everything. So and I did want to do it year round. So we have a member that will be joining us in the spring. He is the NFL guy, but he can review some prospects. He's been pretty good about who's going to be good from classes. So he'll get on here. He'll spill some knowledge, but we need a graphic designer. Can you get on that?
No, I cannot get on
Oh,
that. That is your job. I don't make the
you
rules
said
though.
you knew Photoshop.
I do know Photoshop. This may be a topic to discuss out of this episode. So if you would like to discuss this at a different time, I would be happy to have the
Look at
conversation.
this, everybody. Look at the deflection. Wow. Okay. You know what? You know what? Fine.
I mean, where's Clay Ilhart?
Oh
Right?
my gosh, I'm calling him.
Yeah, we need him in here. We need him in. I would have loved
He's
to have
in
heard his
Georgia right now.
predictions. Maybe we'll bring him on next week. Maybe we'll get everybody back together. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe we got another
No.
special guest. Maybe we're banning
Yeah.
special guests. I
It
don't
might
know.
just only be Carter Ritchie. But who knows? My hopes is that we're in the same room together for our next episode. We'll see if we can make that work.
That would be awesome. That
That
would be
would be
awesome. Uh,
electric.
yeah, just everybody drop a comment if you made it this far, saying what you want differently, what you think we need upgrades. Do you think we need mics? We definitely do. What
We
mics?
definitely.
What studio? We need a green screen.
Yeah.
I am open to any advice you have. So don't be
Um,
afraid.
yeah. We need boom mics. We need $1,000 cameras. Christmas is coming up, so
It is. I hope
Um,
Santa brought me something.
I think Santa is, but if he got my letter, maybe he'll bring it. But yeah, we need a lot. So
Good episode. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We
yep,
will catch you next week, hopefully in the same studio.
in a few days in the same room, electric.
Later.
Peace.